Today's episode is brought to you by Jerk Swag.
Summer's down by the beach, sunsets on the beer, and breezy evenings devouring the sweet, tangy taste of salty clams. The Salty Clam Cafe. Put some tang on your tongue.
Let's do it, boys.
Our dynamic trio of sports enthusiasts and longtime friends bring you the latest sports news, heated debates, and offbeat stories from the wide world of sports. Whether you're a diehard fan or just enjoy a good laugh, we've got you covered. Are your balls out?
Suck it, jabroni.
Hey, are you ready? Are you done fucking around?
Hey. Yo.
I do not have peanut butter on my list here.
Oh, my goodness. That's ridiculous.
You're listening to the Balls Out Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Ala, Crispy, and Jonas Mount.
Sheesh.
All right, everybody, welcome into Balls Out. As you heard, my name is Jonas Mount. That is Ala to my left.
That's
We
me.
got Crispy joining us from Greenville, South Carolina. For those of you that
What's
are
up,
watching
fam?
on YouTube, he's right about here. For those
Yeah, and I'm
going
to fit right underneath that table if you see the table.
Right underneath the table. That kind of works, though, isn't it? I mean, you are vertically
Yeah.
challenged, so it's gonna work perfectly for you.
That's
right?
true.
He
That is true.
He knows he is.
Whoa.
He's all right with that.
He's not challenged.
He gets it.
I don't
I'm
know.
used to it. I'm used to it by now.
He is.
See, I've gotten so good with the short jokes, I get to them before most others.
That's
do.
true. That's true.
So
You
it
understand
kinda-
what
kinda
self-deprecation is
taints-
all about.
It kind of brings it down a little bit.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Whoa. Hey, yo.
That is where your mind goes every single thing that we do. Every single time somebody says something.
Hit a bing bong.
Hey, I had a moment today where I had to use the I don't know what to do with my hands, and no one picked up on it.
See, that's
I
ridiculous.
love it.
You need new
yeah,
friends.
I was like,
Love
yes,
it.
guys, where y'all at?
You need to socialize with new people. Like,
That's
that's
true.
ridiculous. If you don't know what that means, then just get out. Just leave. Just get away from me.
Get out.
All right, welcome into the podcast. This is episode number 2.
What? Oh, there you go.
Oh, we just had to have that, didn't we? We just had to have it. Ala's
What was
been
it?
pining for all of these sounds, and he wants board access. He wants to make noises.
What?
He's a child.
Yeah.
He's a child.
And
No, but I mean, it's cool.
I put this shirt on for you, by the way.
Why do you keep saying that you put that shirt on for me?
What?
You want to explain to those?
Well, if you check the Balls Out, is it just Balls Out, right?
BallzOutsports.
Nope, can't hear you.
BallzOutsports.
Oh, there you go. The Balls Out Sports Instagram page. You looking at it? Got reels up there
Yep,
where someone was telling their story about their week 1 action,
that's true.
and they were talking about lots of tequila and
Oh,
beer,
Vodka and beer.
beer,
Yep.
more beer,
What?
beer.
What? I mean, lots of it.
Yeah.
not a beer fan.
Oh, okay.
Vodka,
What?
beer,
What?
more vodka,
What?
tequila.
What?
We go back to beer.
More beer. I think you said Red Stripe. too.
Yeah, I did go red stripe, man. That was absolutely nuts.
So I put the vintage, classic,
Yep.
Stone Cold what T-shirt
Now,
on.
those are for those who can see us right now. Those of us who are only listening to us right now, you've got the Stone Cold. It's a black T-shirt, white lettering, and it's got what?
With a question
across
mark.
it with a question mark with
And-
Stone Cold
and a
logo at the
skull.
bottom, right? Yeah,
And
the
a
skull at the bottom.
And there's a skull on the back too.
I like it. It's a good shirt. You say you wore it for me. I think you wore it for yourself, but that's cool. I
I got
appreciate the
lots.
sentiment.
You're gonna see lots of wrestling T-shirts from me.
This is true.
Uh-oh.
There is going to be a point in time where wrestling conversation is probably going to have to happen.
Oh yes,
I get that.
WrestleMania.
I respect it.
Yep.
Never been a huge fan. Was when I was very young. Not a fan. Haven't been a fan for a long time. But it's one of those things where you always keep up. You always keep up, right? You know what's going on. You can't help it. Like, you turn the TV on, you know what's coming. You know when it's Raw. You know when it's, I mean, all of it, right? You know where all of it is. All the time. You're welcome. You've had way too much coffee, by the way. You
I
are
did.
out of control. You really are out of control.
I was working.
So WWE Raw, I see advertisements for that on TV. I know when WrestleMania is coming. Like, all of these things, it's in front of us all the time. So I can't escape it. I know who all the the main protagonists are. I know who's
Well,
wrestling. I
wrong.
know all of these guys. I know
Not-
who they are.
not
right? I know the
protagonists.
heels.
And
Right.
faces.
Yeah, I know 'em.
Not protagonists. Don't say protagonists.
Dude.
We don't like that.
I
I
like
like
that.
when Jake the Snake.
I say it
wrestles.
when
Oh, Jake the Snake is old.
he is very
What?
old. He did not age well either, by the way.
Because
What?
he almost died, by the way.
Well, that I know, but
Yep.
he looks rough.
Very.
He looks
That's
rough.
that's when I was watching wrestling.
Wrestling.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we got a lot going on. We've got episode number 2. We got to get into some stuff right now. Just want to introduce the fellas on the other side. We are missing Cal this evening, but Christian is actually with us, who was not with us during episode number 1. We've got Zach over here as well. And what is he doing?
I don't know.
What is
He-
Coco doing?
He ain't got no drawers on neither. That's really bad. Put some drawers on.
Hey, what are y'all doing over there?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening over here.
guy.
I'm surrounded by just
Who's in
insanity.
charge over there?
No one.
Nobody.
I do not have the notebook for that show.
You don't have a lot of notebooks, but we have like 5 other shows apparently that we're going to have to start doing because things just get out of control here. So, welcome into the show. It is episode number 2. We have our balls out. You should also have your balls out as well. We're going to be talking a whole hell of a lot about football, as we usually do, because the NFL right now is king. We've got a lot of things that we want to go through over the course of the next, I don't know, what do we call this? We've never actually said to anybody, like, how long this show is, but typically it's around 90 minutes, somewhere in that general vicinity.
Just listen.
We like to keep it there.
They be all right.
It'd be all right. So a lot to get to, a lot of storylines. Obviously, week 2 of the NFL season has come and gone. Week 2, right off the rip, first impressions, I'll give you these before we run down a few things. Much better than week 1. Overall, top to bottom, much better than week 1. But before we get into specifics, before we get into games, talking about scores, talking about highlights, how was everybody's weekend? This is how we start the show. Well, besides the shenanigans that we usually comes with the first 5 minutes of the show.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. The first 5 minutes, usually just trying to get our bearings. Ala's usually thinking of something crazy. I say something and he's
Very clever.
yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
give
would
that
agree.
to you.
You're not calling me clever?
No,
Oh.
but it's cool.
Uh-oh.
It's all right.
okay.
But how was everybody's weekend? Who did we start with this time? I think last time we started. Who did we start with last time?
Crispy.
Did we start with Crispy? You want to go with Crispy again?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start with Crispy. All right, Crispy.
No,
how
no.
was your Sunday, man?
Really?
Or weekend?
Hey, so-
Give me whatever.
What's that?
I said, how was your weekend? Just in general. Saturday, Sunday, whatever.
Yeah. Weekend was great, right? So, had some family time on Saturday. Was hyped about Sunday. Got Sunday football. Excited about that. And we talked about my routine and, all the superstitions that I'm getting ready for this year. And I wake up Sunday morning. It was nice and warm and cozy in the bed. And reach over. I touch the screen on my phone, and it's 9:30.
What?
You missed Bible study?
Yeah. Woo, I missed a whole lot on
You missed
Sunday. to be
Bible
honest with
study. You
fellas.
missed breakfast.
Yeah, 9:30. Yeah, I slept in a little bit.
Okay.
So, routine completely gone. No Bible study. No working out. No breakfast. No 9 a.m. NFL network. So I get up at 9:30 and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've slept in till 9:30. It is something I couldn't even tell you the last time I slept in that late. So pretty much the day was a whole catch-up day after that. Not the condiment that you put on, but I had to get caught up with everything. So running behind. So yeah, so I had to kind of make up a new routine for the day. Dolphins played at Sunday night, so kind of took my day to maybe get caught up on some chores as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to get some of my honeydews done, right? I had to get some chores done. I had to get some things done around the house. So I did have Sunday tickets still on it. There's no whips. There's no way. It's a working
Whips and
relationship
chains.
here. It's a working relationship here. I'll go grab them and bring them down. There ain't no whips.
Hey, now.
That's a different show.
That's a
That's a
different
different
show.
show.
I-
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got some honeydews done. I got some chores done. got some, vacation coming up, so I figured I'd take advantage of the day, get caught up on some house duties. I did have Sunday ticket on. The son was with me. We watched a lot of the Cincinnati-Baltimore game as I was doing my activities and things like that. So I'll be back on track in 2 weeks. Next week's going to be out of sorts as well, but I will be watching some football. So
you'll be traveling, though, next week, right?
Yeah. Headed up to, Cincinnati, coincidentally enough.
Yep.
My nephew's getting married, so excited for that. Be the first time I've traveled up there to see them in their neck of the woods. So excited to get on the road, get some drive time going, get up to Cincinnati, maybe find a White Castle's restaurant on the way.
Okay.
I've heard rumors that there is one on my travels, so I'm
just
excited
say-
about that. I haven't had an actual White Castle. I'm not sure if everyone knows what a White Castle is, but it's
I'm familiar
like
with
a
White
Crystal
Castle.
burger.
Yep.
No. Crystal is a copycat of White Castle.
That's true. That's
Okay.
true. That's true. White Castle was first, so
Yes,
Crystals is similar to a White Castle.
That
burger.
is true. White Castles will give you the runs, though.
Mm.
Be careful.
Yeah. Well, we're usually eat them out of the frozen food section, so that's probably has something to do with it. But
Now, the chicken
I don't
rings
know.
are really good. I love them chicken rings. You could pick them up in Publix.
I've never had White Castle.
Never?
Never.
You had Crystal
Have you had-
before?
Yes, and I
Same
hated
thing.
it.
Same thing.
Crystal was terrible. We had a Crystal's experience once in Atlanta, and it was atrocious.
Well, it's because it's in Atlanta, and we don't like Atlanta,
Yeah.
but you do.
enough said.
I like Atlanta.
I know.
Yeah.
But you do.
I mean, Waffle House is fantastic in Atlanta.
Waffle House fantastic everywhere.
I don't know.
Especially
I've
in
never
Atlanta.
been to a bad Waffle House.
I have. Right in North Charleston.
Oh,
The worst Waffle House ever, man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're terrible.
All right, so I definitely have to get to White Castle. So Crispy's going to be on the move this weekend. Are you planning on getting any football time in? Like, are you going to be watching
Oh, for
any
sure.
on Sunday?
For sure. Yeah. Sunday's like is an actual vacation, I guess, a day where nothing's planned. The bride and groom are going to be gone, so I'll be able to visit with my mom, my dad. We might go do some fishing. My sister's going to be up there, so it's supposed to be nice weather. So I'll have my phone. I'll catch some games there.
You know what would be kind of cool is if you actually go out while you're in Cincinnati and go to a local establishment in the city and watch a game. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, but I'm probably going to be around a lot of Cincinnati fans, and they're not very good, so I don't want to be around them.
They're not very good.
Yeah.
Not very nice. Yeah, well, they're definitely not in a very good mood nowadays. So maybe it's a wise decision to not do that.
That is
Yeah,
true.
I don't want any of that juju that they got,
Well, that's fair.
getting over to me and my Miami Dolphins.
That's fair. All right, your Miami Dolphins are 2-0. All right, we'll turn our attention to Allah right now. How was your weekend? How was your Sunday?
It was great. Not really. I got caught in the rain.
Okay.
So I went out to get something to eat with the missus before football,
Yep.
right? Had to get my little time in because
All right.
I'm whipped too, right?
I'm not whipped.
No, I said I'm whipped
Oh, okay.
too because you are as well.
No.
So I won a raffle, right,
Okay.
from a company. Shout out to MK Exotics, right? Follow them on Instagram. It's a paid ad for me, by the way. I'm just letting you know that because I won a raffle. Use that money to go get something to eat,
Okay.
right? As I'm walking into this establishment, here's the funny part. I got a Jet shirt on, right? Not the jersey because I knew we were losing. So I just put a shirt on. So I go in there. This is before the game. I walk in there. It's pouring down, raining now. We go inside. The lady goes, do you play for the Jets? My wife looks at me. She starts laughing. I said, no. Yeah, maybe. She was like, you look like you play football. I said, okay.
Why do you think she said that?
Because I'm a big black guy.
That's fair. I was hoping that's where you were going to go with that because that's probably exactly what she thought.
And then I wanted to say, maybe I should play the line for them. Because their
Maybe you
line
wouldn't have had to
was-
use that gift card.
Well, no.
They may have given you free food then, too.
It was Apple Cash. I thought about it, but I didn't want to do that. So I should have. If you want to pay me to eat, I'll come in there and work for the Jets too. Yeah. Then I got caught in the rain, got home, and watched football. Football, the American.
Oh, the American kind? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like it's pretty good. You were mistaken for an athlete. That's hilarious.
I am an athlete.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're not a professional athlete.
I could be.
Could you? You could play for the Jets? I
Yep.
mean, I know you played O-line, but
D-line.
Well,
D-line?
I was really good
I
at cornhole, isn't he?
Whoa. Hey. Yo.
That's a professional sport.
No.
Well, according to ESPN, it is. So
That's true.
It might as well be.
Yeah.
Which one? The Ocho? or the regular one? Yeah. If you want me to come play line for y'all, Aaron, I still love you. Come back.
Maybe you could have stopped him from getting.
Ooh.
I don't think anybody can stop Micah Parsons.
Oh, God.
He's
That
a monster.
Jeez.
My defensive player of the year.
It's only 2 games.
So far.
Yeah, might as well just give him the trophy now.
Do you want to just give it to him now? I mean, he is unstoppable at the moment.
Was that Dennis Green? Crown him.
Crown ass.
They are who we thought they were.
Crown him.
You want to crown him? Crown ass.
Right.
That's such a good bit, too.
Yeah.
I forgot about that one. That was a really good one.
I got all the good bits in my head.
Yeah.
I know them all.
You got more than just bits in your head, but that's cool.
Whoa.
Hey, now.
So Nasty, talk to us. How about are you done? What's up with Nasty? How was the weekend? Did you have a tamed weekend compared to last weekend?
Yes. Yes. Much
You're
more.
probably
tame.
still hungover from last weekend.
That's a good possibility. I think I'm still sort of reeling from all that because I have been exhausted.
Because he's
6-day hangover.
old.
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that's fair. Okay. What do you know, when you say these things, do you expect me to somehow like turn around and say, "No, I'm not"? I mean,
I want you to
I'm
say,
the oldest guy in the room, dude. I get it.
I'm a grown man. I'm 40. That's
Hey.
what I want you to say.
I'm 48. I'm not 40 anymore. Being 40 would be cool, but I'm 48. That's fine. I get it.
Did we find out for sure how old he is?
He's 48.
62.
No, he is. What did we say? Well, I think the last time we checked, he's 50.
Oh, you talking about Nasty or you talking about Mike Gundy?
Yeah, Gundy.
I think he's 52, I think is what we said.
56.
Damn, that soundbite's
56.
Oh,
Yes.
he's 56
That's
now?
crazy.
God, it has been that long, hasn't it?
Yep.
I'm a man. What? I'm 40.
40.
16 years ago that bit came out? That's wild.
Clip it up. Mike Gundy. Clip it up.
Mike Gundy, clip it up. All right. So, so mine was much more tame by comparison to week one. I'm sorry that I'm not going to give you some outlandish, crazy story. Well, I mean, the season's long, man. There's plenty of time.
Hey-o.
There's plenty of time.
Okay.
We got what, 15 more weeks of the regular season.
No.
Then we've got playoffs. Yeah, it's a 17-week season.
No, it's not.
Playoffs?
I thought it was 18. It's 18, isn't it? I know it's 17 games.
17
but they got
games.
the,
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
it's
So the 17
now.
games. Yeah. So we've got the playoffs. That's another one. We need that one. Playoffs.
Yep.
We really should have been more prepared for these, shouldn't we? Like we should have had these.
It's Christian.
Why is it Christian's fault? Don't blame him.
It's his fault. Him.
You've got to always blame somebody.
Yes.
Hey, it's only episode 2. We got plenty of time.
Plenty of time. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, but we do need to get some good bits in there. So we'll definitely get those up for the next show.
Where's my what at, Christian?
Bits or
Where's
bites?
my what? You still ain't get my what yet.
Bites, bits, shorts. I don't know, man. There's so many different names for this stuff right now. I don't know what you want to call them.
I'm not short.
I'm not. No, you're not.
Nope.
I'm not.
At all.
You know, I don't really know where I should go with that, but I'm just going to leave it alone.
Yep.
I really am. I will say this. I guess the only thing I'll add to this, you know, like how my weekend was, I had a little bit of a nostalgic moment when I was watching the Commanders and Denver game. And
You watched that?
yeah, I did actually. I didn't watch the whole game, but I watched part of it. So at the end of that game, of course, most of you will probably know by now that there was a Hail Mary at the end of regulation, which was caught after it had been tipped around, 3-4 times before finally falling into Johnson's arms in the end zone. And I see that every time I see a Hail Mary that a team will pull off, and we obviously saw that a lot with Aaron Rodgers when he was in Green Bay. A ton of that. Like, he was always the highlight reel guy. At least once every couple of years, he was pulling off some kind of Hail Mary at the end of it. And I have these moments every time I see these of the first full football game I ever watched with my dad. So it was the first full game I'd ever watched, and I watched it with my dad. My dad worked oftentimes worked on the weekends, and he only had Tuesdays and Wednesdays off when I was, like 7, 8, 9 years old. And so he had the rare occasion of being off on a Sunday. And the first time I ever watched a full football game was with him, and we were watching the San Francisco 49ers at the Atlanta Falcons. That was the first game, and this is why, obviously, I ended up becoming a Falcons fan.
Boo.
So, and everybody's got these moments, right? Everybody has sort of a thing. Something happened, whether it's you're from there or a moment happened. So obviously growing up in South Carolina, we don't have any professional teams here, not at the highest level, right? So
we got the Stingrays.
Yeah.
Nesty, real quick,
Nice.
what year was this?
1983.
1962.
83.
83.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I
So
wasn't even born yet.
I'm watching, nobody else around here was born at that point yet. So I'm, what was
I see
that?
him raise his hand.
I was raising my hand.
Okay.
He's
I was
raising
here.
his hand.
All right. So I'm watching this game with my dad, and again, I kind of go back to the point originally before I was so rudely interrupted.
Sorry.
Is that when you're living in an area that doesn't have professional sports teams, you kind of pick one. And at that time, in the early '80s, you had three stations on TV. You had ABC, NBC, CBS, and typically you were definitely getting just regional games. So you were consistently watching the Falcons at the time, the Redskins, and the Miami Dolphins. Like, those were the three teams you were consistently getting on TV. And so, interestingly enough, Crispy has lived in South Carolina most of his life. My cousin, as you know who my cousin is.
Cousin?
You know cousin. He is a Commanders fan.
Commandos.
And I am a Falcons fan, and we all in that same boat where it's like you kind of picked a team for one reason or another, because those were the teams that were typically on TV. So before I actually saw an entire game, I would see bits and pieces of highlights, right? I would see Dan Marino as the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. I saw John Riggins for the Redskins, and his ability to run the football was phenomenal. I mean, like, he was next level guy. Like, you're watching him, and I remember as a kid watching that and then see him go to the sidelines and putting an oxygen mask on, and I'm going, wow, like, that dude's just hardcore. You know what I mean? And when you're a young kid, that has an impact on you. And so anyway, I'm watching this game with my dad, and 83, Falcons aren't any good. Not that they've been very good throughout their history anyway, but they're playing the San Francisco 49ers. They have no business being in this game, and it's at Atlanta. And we're watching, the game's kind of going back and forth. It's actually pretty close. So at the end of the game, San Francisco's leading, and there's, I don't know, a few seconds left on the clock. And my dad's like, well, this game's over. We can't there's no way we're going to be able to pull this Hail Mary off. And I'll never forget my dad leaving the room and going to the bathroom. He's like, I need you to bathroom. So he goes into the bathroom. The pass gets thrown. It is just shy of the end zone. It would, if it hit the ground, it would have landed like the 3 or 4 yard line. It gets tipped around several times. Billy White Shoes Johnson comes up with the ball. White Shoes, baby. Comes up with the football, runs around the crowd that were a bunch of players, and then dives for the end zone. Had there been replay at the time, he wouldn't have gotten in. His knees hit before he crossed the plane.
Did he do his dance after he scored?
Absolutely did his dance after the fact. So I'm going crazy watching this. I am screaming. I'm like, Dad, I'll never forget this, man. This is 40 years ago, right?
62 guys.
And I am like, Dad. And he comes running out there. Man's trying to put his pants back on. I mean, he's running out, and he's like, what? And I'm like, he scored a touchdown. And we watched the replay over and over again, and it was a pretty cool moment. It kind of sucked that he wasn't in the room when it actually happened live, but he comes back in there, we celebrate it, and from that day forward, that's what got me. That's when I became a Falcons fan.
I got a question.
Okay.
You just said he had to put his pants on. Was his pants on when he came back?
What do you mean?
You just said your dad came out the bathroom. He didn't have his pants on.
He was trying to get his pants back on, like he was buttoning his jeans back up.
Did he unclothe his entire self to go to the bathroom?
I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility. It's a very good possibility.
Hey, some people got to get naked.
I mean,
to
for
drop
all
a
I know,
deuce.
I didn't ask him what he was doing. I don't know if he was taking a deuce. I don't know if he was just pissing. I don't know what he was doing, but he's running out and he's trying to.
He just stripped down.
He's trying to get it. He's trying to get out there.
He's getting those balls out.
I mean, hey, look. I mean, hey, Mount Senior. The man could definitely get his balls out. So
Hey, that's another show, guys.
that's another show.
That is another show.
Oh,
So we
boy.
want to share our story real quick on how we became fans. Mine's quick and easy though. Wasn't 1983 though. It was 1985. Miami Dolphins
65.
beat the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football,
Okay.
which was undefeated. Dan Marino lights them up for a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns. And I said, oh, if they're beating the undefeated team, they got to be better. So I went with the Miami Dolphins at that time. I was 7 years old.
Allah, what about you?
I don't know.
How'd you become a Jets fan?
You don't want to hear that
Why not?
because I like the bad. I have the bad teams in New York, so yeah,
We just leave it at that.
that's it.
You're a Jets fan?
Yep. Didn't want to pick the Giants because they won too much.
Okay.
Kids don't do drugs. He was running around there, so I was like, all right, let me just go to the other team. And they didn't win, so
Well, they sure
there
did.
you go. So
They sure did. I mean, they won before your time.
69.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Yep.
You was
Mr.
around.
Hollywood himself.
You was around to see that.
No, I was not.
Oh, my bad.
No.
You're old.
I am. I'm not that old.
Did
born in 75.
We might have to look this up. I don't know why I don't know this, but did that predate Super Bowl?
That was the first. No, that led to the Super Bowl. That was 3. Super Bowl 3. That led from the merger, the AFL,
Yeah,
NFL
and
merger.
NFL.
Yep. If it
So
wasn't for us.
they didn't technically win the Super Bowl.
No, we
Super
did.
Bowl was next year.
That was the Super Bowl 3. But if it
Okay.
wasn't for us, there would be no merger at all. Yeah. Broadway Joe, baby.
Fun fact.
Aaron.
Fun
Aaron.
facts.
Aaron.
That's the one
Yeah.
thing you got going for you.
It's been
And
It's
then
been a long time for the Jets.
Yeah.
It's been a long time for the Dolphins. Even longer time for the Falcons.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
They ain't got none.
Well, we don't have any. So
0.
but
Been to a
they've
couple.
been
What?
since we've been. So
yeah. Oh yeah. When was the last time the
twice,
Dolphins were in?
twice.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
you've been.
Yep. When was the last time the Jets were in the Super Bowl?
Let me see. Carry
Carried
Ca-
it to
minus the
So
7.
back in the 1900s,
There you go.
there was this team.
1969.
Yeah, my mama was born that year.
Hey, I saw a really
She's
shitty
old-
stat.
she's old,
so
too.
the Miami Dolphins actually have not won a playoff game since 2001.
I did see that.
There's
Yeah. That's a
only
drought.
one team that's in a longer drought than us.
Was that-
Lions.
yeah,
was
we
that
got to get that taken
Was
care of this year.
that Fiedler? Fiedler was quarterbacking, right?
Yeah, I believe
Don't
that's
even.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. See,
Well, I was a big fan.
I
of
should-
actually.
I sh-
I like that guy.
I should have a big mural of all the quarterbacks we've had over the last 20 years. I'd
There's a
take
lot
care
of
of this whole wall over here. I wouldn't have to paint it at all.
All right, so there we go. We all of us kind of understand why we became fans of the teams we did. Well, Allah's going to try to keep his a secret.
Aaron, come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had the Super Bowl in '69, and then I
skipped all of that.
years later.
I'm not that old, so you know.
Then we
I
got
have
to the
skip
butt
over
fumble.
Well,
That
I
was
don't-
really the next like sort of highlight.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Then there was Rex.
No. Sanchez was eating a glizzy on the sideline, by the way.
He was eating a glizzy, that's for sure.
You don't remember that?
Oh, I do remember
you
that.
can look it up.
He tried to hide it.
He was
Yeah,
like,
he
he was like,
I mean, he didn't try it hard at all.
he put mustard on it and everything.
yeah. Oh, yeah. He was getting down, dude.
Big old glizzy on the
That was
sideline.
good stuff right there.
Yeah.
He was enjoying that glizzy in his
Was Rex the head coach with
That
Sanchez
was
when they went to
Rex.
those AFC championships?
Yep, back to back.
Yeah.
And Rex loves him some feet, so we'll just leave it at that.
He got a tattoo of Sanchez on his leg too.
Oh my god, that dude! There's something. He's different.
Rex, is
Those
the
Rex
guy.
boys are different.
Rex, come on home. Bring Aaron with you. Come on back. We need you.
All right.
take 'em.
So we have. I have this question, and I know that this is going to seem odd, but there were several years ago when I was actually watching more football than I'm watching now, because I took a little bit of a break there for a few years. I remember the opening Monday Night Football week right? The opening Monday nighter was always 2 games, right? And I do remember there was a time, and I know Crispy's going to say this, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it now before he does, is that I'm going to mention Mike and Mike again, and so I'm going to date myself, right? So
He's old.
it hasn't been that long anyway, but that being said,
Mike and Mike was a good decade ago.
they've been
20
off the air.
years ago.
No, stop. All right, stop. All right, let's not do that.
Sorry.
It wasn't that
They
long
started. They started 20 years ago.
ago. No,
They
I'm saying when they
definitely
ended.
About 10 years ago.
I don't
They
think
ended
it
in
was 10.
It's probably been-
2017.
It's probably been 10 years.
How long has it been?
Since 2017 was the final episode.
All right, it was 6 years ago.
That's like 10.
It's not like 10 because it's only 6.
You round up.
I know your math sucks,
Round
but
up.
you need to stop.
Round up.
Escalated,
See,
yeah.
he tries so hard to make me look old and then realizes that he just comes up short every time.
Whoa.
And that's what she said. So,
Bing bong.
and in during that era, during that time, those two were actually doing one of those Monday Night Football games, if memory serves me correctly.
They would do like the second one, the one that was on ESPN2 or something like that. Yeah.
Right. So that was always the first Monday nighter of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that we waited until week 2 to get 2 Monday nighters?
Well,
I mean, honestly,
I know
I'm
the
asking.
answer.
I do know.
For real.
Okay, all right.
it's because of the strike. So the writers, actors strike and everything like that. They said that they're going to have 2 games. They're going to have the ESPN game, and then they're going to play the second Monday night game on ABC to fill the block because they don't have anything to put on TV.
Are you being serious?
I'm so serious. Google
It
it.
makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Learn something every day.
Which is going to cut into wrestling's ratings. I love you, WWE. Cut me a check. Yeah.
I mean, you're really just going to do the whole.
I'm trying to get paid. I don't know about y'all.
You're just going to do the promotion thing all the time,
Who
aren't you?
wants to pay
it's like
me?
Just it's always about Allah.
Not who wants to be a millionaire.
Is-
Who wants to pay me?
Are there any more of the Monday night 2 games
Doubleheaders?
scheduled?
It's because of the strike.
So,
Ugh.
but I don't understand how they're just instead of those teams playing on Sunday, they're just going to move them to Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't that make scheduling a little bit more difficult?
Mm-hmm.
They were both playing at the same time as well.
Mm-hmm.
Weird.
Ugh.
And then
They were gross games too.
So on YouTube TV, you can not the ticket because it's not on ticket at that point because
Right.
it's on it's blacked out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You can still multi-view it, and you can watch both of the games at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. All right.
as they're both going.
I didn't know that, but they did choose 2 pretty trash games for Monday Night Football.
The Steelers suck. I don't care if they won.
Oh yeah.
That game was
Y'all
terrible.
saw that post I put in the group message?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one with I can't ever remember their quarterback's name.
Who, baby hands?
Kenny
Carolina's quarterback.
Oh, Bryce Young.
Oh,
Young.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
you
I
were
seen
talking
that.
about. I thought we were talking about the Steelers.
Did you just do a rolling? What? Oh, Jesus.
I don't know why that's all happening back
Why
there.
is he flipping me off?
I don't know.
I didn't do nothing. I'm innocent.
He's a Steelers fan. He'll be all right.
They suck. That's why.
What were you going to say about Bryce Young?
Yeah, Coco is a Steeler fan.
What were you saying about Bryce Young?
In the message I had sent the link where he lined up behind the wrong player.
Oh, yeah.
Not behind the center.
All quarterbacks do that.
And the running back pushed him back over. He's like, "You're lined up
Yeah,
over the guard, bro." Like,
Hey,
get back
Rook,
over
you
there.
got to get over there behind
Yeah,
the center.
That was good.
It's already hard enough with you. Now you're making it any more difficult not being behind the center.
Yo.
What?
What's hard?
What?
You didn't hear him? I didn't say it. He said it. I'm sorry.
We could have just glossed over it, but you just gotta. It's always.
Bing bong.
I mean, basically, what we have to do at this point when we are not on the air is we're gonna have to write down
Innuendos.
all of the words that we cannot say because if we do, Allah's gonna have some kind of reaction to it every single time. I mean, this is so much worse now than it used to be with you when we did radio back in the day.
Yes.
Like, what happened? What has transpired? Why do you have such a dirty mind?
Because I'm not an old man yet. When I get older,
Wait.
it's going to be dirtier.
Oh God.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's another show.
Yeah.
All right, so now we know, and I appreciate the information.
You're welcome.
About why we have 2 Monday Night Football games in week 2 instead of week 1. Moving on. Knowledge drop. Moving on. Jets. Allah, this is.
I don't want to talk about it.
Come on.
Nope.
I want to talk about this.
I'm not going there.
This is what we're doing. Jets players' cryptic tweets. Brees Hall with only 4 touches in that game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. I don't know why. I don't have the answer for it.
Would it have mattered if he'd had more? Seriously.
Maybe.
Okay.
So, objectively speaking, the line did not play that bad.
Okay.
Zach Wilson didn't play that bad.
Okay.
The defense was on the field too much. And when you're on the field so much, the offense, look at the disparity of the plays. Like, they, almost tripled us in time of possession. And they just dink and dunked. They got Dak, completed his, first 15 passes straight. Big third down after big third down. We couldn't get off the field. We held them to 5 field goals. And, yeah, there was nothing else to do at that point.
Is that
Did
Aaron?
you just say Zach Wilson did not have a bad game?
He did not. I watched the entire game.
So
I'm not talking about the stats.
3 interceptions.
2 of them was at the end of the game where he had to try to make a play.
3 interceptions.
Okay. See, this is why I don't like talking about football. This is why I don't watch football.
I don't really know what your expectations are at this point because we talk a lot about football because it's football season.
Let's go Knicks.
I can't wait to see the new quarterback y'all get within the next, say, 3 weeks.
Let's go Knicks.
You really think they're going for somebody else?
They got to. They can't let this cat still keep just throwing all these interceptions.
Did you watch the game? No. Dolphins fan.
It was on one of the 4 TVs. I just kept on seeing picks. I was like, oh, was that a replay?
Wasn't,
no, that's a new one. Oh, my bad.
Nobody said nothing about the Garrett Wilson slant that he hit right with the post right over the middle. He hit him and then took it to the house, right?
For 12 yards, and then he ran the 60.
Nobody said nothing about the 2-minute drill where he, stepped up in the pocket like he should have, with the proper footwork, step up in the pocket, run for 12 yards, took him down the field, got a field goal.
What was the final score of that game?
Listen, that didn't count.
30-10.
30-10.
Yeah, we didn't lose by 40 though.
You lost by 20.
But we didn't lose by 40.
Quick question
We didn't lose by 40.
before we move on. Is and in all seriousness, because we've talked already this season about how well the Dallas Cowboys defense can play. Obviously, Micah Parsons is just an absolute monster. They've got a good secondary. They've got a very good defense, right? So, is the Rodgers factor? Is that 20 points? If Aaron Rodgers is playing in that game instead of Zach Wilson,
we would have won.
You would have won.
Yes,
without question.
Now let me tell you why.
So there's a 3-touchdown difference between Aaron Rodgers being on the field and Zach Wilson being on the field.
Completely, again, objective, right?
That's kind of hard for you, but okay.
I'm being honest. The refs suck. We will get to this later. The refs suck. 2 roughing the passer penalties and gave Dallas a touchdown towards the end of the first half. It was 3rd down, Dak missed it, roughing the passer penalty, terrible on John Franklin Myers. Next one, 3rd down, roughing the passer penalty on whoever else. It was another one of our linemen. Extended the drive again for them. They get a touchdown out of it. And then that's when Zach tried to go down the field, and the pass was tipped by, I think it was Dexter Lawrence. Not Dexter Lawrence, the other one from their side of things. I don't know Dallas's people besides Micah Parsons, because he was everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
Very fast.
Yes.
Zach was about to hit Garrett Wilson on the out route. He had Trayvon Diggs beat right by the pylon, but he got his hand hit, and then we had to settle for a field goal on the 2-minute drive. So that was like a 10-point swing at that point. We were in the game at halftime, and the defense just was on the field too long. 5 field goals, held them to it. But you're back on the field again because now it's a 3 and out because Micah Parsons gives a good pass rush, right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't Zach. He had to force the ball at the end of the game. But you cannot give Brees Hall only 4 touches. I agree.
That's fair, and I'm a little concerned already at this point during the season that we're seeing a cryptic tweet. But this happens from time to time. Then they'll take him down, and then he'll say it's no big deal, and then everything's going to be fine, and they'll sing Kumbaya, and everything will be OBKB, right? I get that, but the problem that I have is, and I understand, and I know you're trying to be objective here, but you said that you believe that if Aaron Rodgers is in that game, they win.
Yes.
And he is the difference maker. That 21 points is because Aaron Rodgers is not playing.
Yes.
But yet in the same breath, we're hearing that, well, you're forgetting that Zach Wilson did this, and you're forgetting that Zach Wilson did that, and he did this, and he didn't play that badly. But if you're talking about a 3-touchdown disparity between one quarterback and the other, how far is Zach Wilson going to be able to take you? I mean, if we're talking that there's a 3-touchdown difference between those two guys, between your first string and second string quarterback, what is the outcome of your season looking like at this point?
We played a really good defense. Like, Dallas is looking like probably the NFC team, right?
I would agree.
The top team currently. It's very
well,
early.
besides San Francisco, but
It's
all right.
Right? It's only week 2.
Yep, I get it.
So we ain't even hit the first quarter of the season yet. But they're looking like a really good team. And then Mike McCarthy is going to mess it up. And then Dak is going to Dak.
Dak is going to Dak.
Right. And I thought he was going to do it towards the end of the We'll see.
I mean, history is not on Dak's side.
Well, I got something real quick on the Jets piece, though.
Oh,
Jonas, you said this. I
Dolphins
know
fan.
Ala's a big fan of this. That defense just got 30 points hung on them. Aaron Rodgers ain't going to control that. That defense just allowed 30 points on him. And this is supposed to be a premier defensive unit.
It's week 2.
The Dak Prescott piece.
Week 2.
McCarthy's calling the plays now. Dak looks comfortable. He's going to take him out of those spots where he's going to be pressed to try to, fit one in there. I like the way the Dallas offense is looking right now. It's cool. It's methodical. They're just marching down the field on these cats. So,
Hey, it's week 2.
I hear you.
Well,
Hey, you were already talking Super Bowl before Aaron Rodgers even trotted out.
Aaron's classic line was REALAX.
REALAX?
That's what he said, but I'm going to take the A out. Relax. That's it. Just relax.
Relax.
Week 2.
Let's do it.
We didn't lose by 40, right?
Still lost by 20, bro.
It's not 40, though.
No, it's not. I mean, you got your math down on that one, but
I got that one right.
You did get that one right. That's
not 40,
right?
Right.
Little
okay.
more moral victories. I hear you.
It's okay. We can't go crazy. Cincinnati starting 0-2 again.
Right.
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 What they did last year. Went to the AFC title game again.
Right. And I'm not, but it's also Cincinnati, and they have a much better quarterback.
But a terrible line.
Right.
And a worse defense. And you get hot. Things happen.
Yeah.
So
you're rolling with Zach Wilson. Let's see what's up.
Well, we ain't got no other choice.
Well, I know. Unless you go out and get those
4 months,
40
Aaron.
plusers.
4 months, baby. Come on back.
Yeah. Is he talking already about the possibility of coming back for the playoffs?
Hyperbaric chambers. I saw it in the New York Post.
That must make it true.
You ain't see? No, they
Right.
have,
I know.
They have the candid shots of his
Right.
friends, and that's what it said under the caption. It said,
He's
female friend.
Ah.
She had coffee in one hand, flowers in the other hand. He was going, you know what he was doing.
he's in that dark room retreat.
Hey-o, again. Bunch of hyperbaric chambers was being delivered. He got the speed bridge Achilles operation.
Okay.
So he's good.
Oh,
All right.
that was
He's
an
gonna come back.
upgrade option. Nice.
All right. I want to get through this next piece really quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I had to talk about this, despite the fact that Allah sent me an emoji of somebody sleeping, and he didn't particularly want to talk about this particular subject matter. But anonymous NFL source believes that Mac Jones would have similar success as Tua, of course, the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, with the same skill players around him. So my question really quickly here is this a Pats management issue, or is this is Mac Jones mediocre? And the reason I bring this up is because, the New England Patriots have not done a very good job of surrounding Mac Jones with more talent, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You can't tell me that bringing in Ezekiel Elliott all of a sudden changes your fortunes, right? This is a guy that's over the hill. But the problem is if management doesn't change their perspective on how to evaluate offensive talent and put that around a guy like Mac Jones, then I don't think they're going to go any further than they are right now, because they continue to look at this through the lens of, we have Tom Brady who can do more with less, right? And Brady was able to do that. He didn't have, except for the year he had Moss. I know he had Gronk, and I know he had Hernandez for a little while, but you're not talking about all world beaters all the time, every single year. He did more with less. And it seems like this organization continues to think that, well, we can just hodgepodge pieces in here offensively, and
Danny Amendola.
they're going to get away with it.
Wes Welker.
Yeah, but either one of those guys doing anything outside of the New England Patriots system?
Yeah, Deion Branch.
What was Brown?
Okay.
Yeah, Troy Brown.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I think that Tom Brady made those guys,
Of course. No, just joking.
look a lot better.
Hey, they got spoiled for 20 years.
Right.
True.
That's the way they do it, and this is their transition. They're trying to keep it. Bill Belichick's going to be around for maybe another 2. I think he's just trying to stick around to get the all-time win.
Yeah.
Because he said F. Shula. He said F. Shula. I'm taking it.
Yeah,
He did say that.
He's probably going to do it. It's going to hurt my heart.
I mean,
Probably not.
if
he doesn't need that many.
I don't think they're going to win. They're 0-2.
If Hunter Henry
true.
stays healthy, he is actually a good tight end.
He is.
Right? He
Solid.
really is. He had some success when he was with the Chargers. If he can stay healthy, you
Solid.
saw what he's capable of, and he showed that in the last game.
But no one is scared of anyone else on that team.
No, they're not.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, and so I think
Do
this
they
is
have Juju?
who?
Juju
Mr.
Smith-Schuster?
Yeah.
Is he on their team?
Mr. TikTok himself.
I mean, again, another guy who was well past his prime. What are you hoping?
He's
for?
not past his. He only 28.
Oh, wait. They got
He's not
Devontae
40.
Parker,
When was the
too.
last time he was relevant?
I don't. I mean,
Okay.
let's see. Carried it.
Hey, he got his ring. He just has to run around get some money now.
That's
But
it.
this is what I'm saying though, is like can we truly evaluate Mac Jones when I don't see an organization doing
Yes.
more to put guys around
Yes,
him?
because he had better weapons last year and the year before that, and he still sucked.
I mean, who did he have last year? Who was wide receivers last year?
Better than whoever he had this year.
He had Jacoby Myers. Wasn't Jacoby Myers, was that his
Yeah.
first or second year last
Isn't
year?
that a law firm?
Sounds like one.
Jacoby and Myers. It is actually in New York, by the way.
But I mean, wasn't that his first or second year last year? I mean, I don't know. I can't name off.
Yeah, but he had better tight ends. He had a couple better running backs. They let was Damian Harris left, right?
Yeah.
He had a couple.
Well,
His line was
Sony come back for a moment.
His
Just to
line was
retire
better.
maybe or something.
I mean, Stevenson is a good back.
He's decent. He's good.
Yeah. I don't know. It just feels an awful lot like this organization is
cheat.
just going to continue to do the things that they
cheat.
always did. Yeah,
Right.
they always were.
Right. But they put it on the defense.
Right.
This year they went with a lot of younger players. They think Judon he's good.
He's nice. I like
But that's about it over there.
Yeah.
They don't have. I don't know no linebackers. They
They're
normally
young.
have a good linebacker or two. Other than Judon, I don't see anything else. I don't see no Vince Wilfork's not walking back through the door. So
Oh
No.
my goodness.
Right.
Yeah. He'll eat everybody if he walks back through the door.
they let Stephon Gilmore go away.
Yep.
You got to stop getting rid of people.
This
The
is what I'm
The
saying, though.
McCourty twins ain't coming back either.
You gotta put more around Mac Jones. That's all I'm saying. I
The
just think you have
Patriots.
to. I think you have to do that. Well, that's fine.
0-3 this week. Zach, baby.
All right. So we're going to stay in the AFC East. We're going to get onto a topic that's a little bit more serious. News obviously came out several days ago. Bills owner, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name correctly, but Terry Pegula, allegedly
Sounds good.
made racist comments. There's a lawsuit that has been filed, a racial discrimination lawsuit against the league filed Tuesday by longtime reporter Jim Trotter. Trotter alleges in the lawsuit that in 2020, a fellow NFL media reporter recalled a conversation he had with Pegula, who was speaking to the reporter about the NFL's social injustice initiatives and Black Lives Matter. The reporter, who was not identified in the lawsuit, told Trotter and approximately 40 other NFL media coworkers during a Zoom call that Pegula said, if the black players don't like it here, they should go back to Africa and see how bad it is.
Racist.
The lawsuit states that Trotter, who is black, pressed executives at NFL media to investigate Pegula's comments, which were highly offensive and racist, but that he was repeatedly brushed off and told that the league's office is investigating it. Now, Pegula, of course, at this point has denied making the comment, quoted as saying, "The statement attributed to me and Mr. Trotter's complaint is absolutely false. I am horrified that anyone would connect me to an allegation of this kind. Racism has no place in our society, and I am personally disgusted that my name is associated with this complaint." The lawsuit, by the way, also mentions Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, who allegedly told Trotter in 2020 that if blacks feel some kind of way, they should buy their own team and hire who they want to hire. So now, obviously, at this point, this is a lawsuit that has been filed, and the comments have allegedly been said, because at this point right now, we don't have anything where anybody has said we don't have anything on tape. We haven't actually heard anything. So right now it's apparently the league is investigating, and this is allegedly taken place.
They ain't investigating nothing. They lying.
Okay, give me a little bit more context. I'm gonna push you on this one now. So you wanted to talk about this.
It's racist.
Okay.
It's racist.
Got it.
More racist.
Okay.
The NFL is racist. We all knew that. It's protecting the shield. It's always been protecting the shield.
Okay.
So let's not even the Cap situation, which Cap, you're my dog. We all know how that turned out. If we go into the owners, right, and what the NFL is based off of, the combine, right?
Okay.
There's undertones there.
Okay.
The ownership, there's no black owners, right?
Right.
We had Houston's owner said some crazy things. That's why Deshaun Watson's out of there, other than him getting rubbing tugs and all of that happy end and stuff.
Right. Which apparently he needs more of that in Cleveland.
He
but
definitely
anyway.
needs that.
Yeah.
He doesn't have it yet.
Right.
That's why he's a little.
Hopefully he finds it.
He's got some built up. He believed it a little while.
So the Houston owner said something.
Right.
I think Tennessee's owner had said something way back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I think they tried to force him to sell the team too. Carolina's owner, before they changed ownership recently, he said something.
Yep.
And
they pushed him out for that. There's no question.
True.
They pushed him out for that.
And we all know Jerry is racist. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how much money the Cowboys make. I don't care how much money they bring in America's team and all of that. His comments during the whole Kaepernick situation and the flag and all of that was out of line. If anybody kneels, then they don't get on my sideline, or they don't come out you don't own these players. Like, yes, they play for you, but you don't own them. So there's no doubt in my mind that this owner said something like that, because we don't know what goes on behind those doors. We're not privy to those conversations.
Right.
And there's one comment after another with owners, especially in the NFL, where they just deem these players to be like their property.
All right. So let me read you this. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell emphasized Wednesday during an interview with ESPN that contents of the lawsuit are allegations at this point. Our job is to make sure to be factual. Let me finish. Goodell said on ESPN's First Take, these are not new charges. They are actually a couple years old. They have been looked into. You heard the strong denials. There is litigation going on right now, and it will be addressed. So this happened apparently in 2020, right?
Ooh.
So
what was going on around him?
What do you mean?
COVID.
Right.
Right.
And what was going on? Some of the players that sat out around COVID and were scared to play were what color?
Is this a trick question? Or?
No, it's true.
Okay.
More so black players.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, the league's also made up of 75% African Americans.
There
right? I mean,
you go.
Well,
so why do we not have a black owner?
I don't know the answer to that question. Why don't we have a
We
black
know why. Who does Roger Goodell work for?
The owners.
There you go. So who is he going to defend?
The owners.
And the Shield, right?
Well, he works for them. They pay him.
Who's he going to defend, though?
Well, the owners.
Okay. My point exactly.
Yeah, but I mean, your point is you've made my point. You've made anybody else's point. He works for the owners. That is his job. That is his job. You have the NFLPA, and you have Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell works for the owners.
Right.
They pay him.
Right. So
it's his job.
So he was supposed to say what he just said, right?
Well, of course he was.
Exactly. That
doesn't make it wrong. How does that make it wrong?
We'll agree to disagree.
Well, he said our jobs are to make sure to be factual. These aren't new charges.
How long it took?
These are a couple of years old.
How long it took Dan Snyder to get out of there?
A long time.
Why?
I don't know. You tell me.
Because it's not easy to sell $5 billion company.
Really?
You got to have some people to buy it.
Oh, even with the sexual harassments and all of those allegations.
I mean,
in
I'll
that
say
front
this
office and everything like that, right?
As far as a move like that goes, those types of moves aren't going to be overnight.
Of course,
Those are not overnight moves.
Absolutely.
I mean, there is obviously going to take some time with that. So I'm going to read you one more thing, just really quickly, right? Trotter's employment at league-owned NFL Media, which oversees the NFL Network, ended earlier this year. The lawsuit filed in the United States District Court for the South District of New York names the NFL and NFL Network as defendants and alleges that Trotter was terminated because he challenged Commissioner Roger Goodell and others regarding NFL's record of race discrimination and lack of diversity. We share Trotter's passion for quality journalism, created and supported by a diverse and inclusive environment. We take his concerns seriously, but strongly dispute his specific allegations, particularly those made against his dedicated colleagues at NFL Media. The NFL said Trotter's contract was not renewed as a result of business decisions made to address a challenging economy and changing media environment. So this is a question that somebody else will ask, because when I read this article, right, I said, okay, inevitably somebody is going to ask this question. And the question is going to be, why now, right? Because we hear about this a lot. You know, like when we hear about entertainers, and I don't know who to use as an example though, right? So you hear about some entertainer or somebody did something where there's like rape allegations or something like that. And I'm not making light of this by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just using this as an example. You hear about these types of allegations, and then all of a sudden you find out that nobody did anything about it at the time. Like, why didn't you come forward at the time? And look, I'm not going to get in anybody else's shoes and pretend like I know why you did or did not do something. But the timing of this is odd from the simple, because this question is going to get asked, and I might as well just ask it now. You didn't do anything about it at the time, right? So we're talking 3 years later. Now we're having this conversation, and it comes right after your contract with the company has ended. So it's going to sound,
or did they force him out as well?
Well, see, they don't say that.
Of course.
They don't say that specifically. Now,
burn it down.
The lawsuit filed in the United States District Court for the South District of New York names the NFL and NFL Network as defendants and alleges that Trotter was terminated because he challenged Commissioner Roger Goodell and others regarding the NFL's record of race discrimination and lack of diversity. So
that's why he was terminated.
Right, but here's the other thing. If he started challenging this movement 3 years ago, why wasn't he just terminated then?
Because they try to sweep things under the rug.
All I'm saying is you're going to get, this question is going to get asked. As this litigation continues to come along, somebody is going to ask the question, why did it take so long? Which is a question we've heard time and time again with any kind of allegation of any kind. And two, it seems awfully coincidental that right after your contract is not renewed or you're terminated or whatever the case may be, that all of a sudden now it's going to appear like sour grapes. And you're going to say something that allegedly happened that nobody else has any proof of. That's all I'm saying. Because this question is going to come up. You know that. I'm not going to be the first person to ask it, nor I'm not the first, and I'm not going to be the last person to ask that question.
Correct.
So based on what I'm reading in the article, I'm simply saying, if we're talking about something that allegedly happened, let's let litigation take its course at this point, right? I don't disagree with you about how the NFL functions. We've talked about this. You and I have known each other for a long time. We've had these conversations a lot. But like anything else, if somebody has allegedly been accused of something, right? Whether it's like, there are baseball analysts on the radio that have said things that are a hell of a lot less than that, right? Now, those have been said. You can hear them on the air, but they are quick to fire people. I mean, like, boom, you're gone, you're done, right? No questions asked or whatever.
You said baseball people?
I'm talking about like somebody who's doing play-by-play.
Baseball.
Will say something.
But baseball people.
Right.
Yeah.
I just said baseball.
Completely different from football, though. is protecting the shield.
Okay.
The shield is a thing. They protect that by any means.
I get that.
Right. While we have never heard anything about Kaepernick's settlement.
Do we have one?
There was a settlement.
Okay.
We will never know exactly what was inside of it
Why hasn't he just told us what it was?
because he probably signed an NDA. But why if the NFL wanted to
why did he sign
prove-
it? If he just wanted to tell everybody, why did he sign it?
I don't think he wanted to tell everybody. He still wants to be a quarterback. 7 years too late.
Right.
I get it, right? But let's not.
We had that conversation last week.
He still wants to be a quarterback.
Right.
So clearly he's not going to try to mess that up.
Right.
Eric Reed was on there too. Remember, he didn't get signed that first almost year or so either.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was the same exact thing. They force you out when they need to force you out. They won't let you come back in.
All right. All I'm going to say
Protect the shield.
is because what's good for the goose, right? So we talk about people that have been allegedly accused of something. Let's wait and see what happens. Because we're going to revisit this. This conversation is not over.
It's not.
You know we're going to revisit this.
Yep.
All I'm saying is let's just see how it plays out. Do you think that we will get some type of
Nope.
Okay.
No, we're not going to get anything. He's going to get paid off. He's going to go away quietly. And then they're going to keep rolling just like they always do.
So you're saying that they're going to offer him enough money to keep quiet and he's going to take it.
Yep.
Because ultimately the money's more important.
Well, not the money's more important, but do you not want to be compensated?
Why would you take it? Are you trying to make a statement?
Are you going to take on the
paid?
machine?
What's that?
Are you going to take on the machine?
How passionate are you about taking on the machine?
It
You have to ask yourself that question. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do
It
it.
never works for anyone.
So ultimately, we all fall to the almighty dollar.
Bingo.
Okay.
Maybe that's why Kaepernick's not playing. He took that money and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna pay you this money, but you can't play." And Cap said, "Let me take that money."
I can't dispute that. I mean, at the end of the day, he has a wife now. He has a child now. Hey, if I got enough money to go away, still fund my activism things, and then we're talking Cap, right? We're not talking Trotter.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Let me go throw to some high school kids and some up and coming college kids and act like I still want to play. But he still wants to play. His wife is on radio in New York saying that he still wakes up 4 a.m. to go work out. Like he's still trying to be a quarterback. So that's why I find that a little murky. Like, yes, he took the money. He can't talk about it, obviously. But he still wants to be a quarterback. So they can't just sweep him under the rug, but they're never going to sign him back again. We know that.
So they're basically all the conversation is it's moot when it comes to Cap. Like nobody's going to they've been told don't sign.
I can't wait until the time period ends or somebody just breaks and they're just like, you know what? Let me just spill the beans because that's going to be a good documentary.
I'm surprised we don't have some kind of one anyway. Everybody's so quick to throw a documentary out. Like
True.
I'm like, why do we not have something of some semblance of one anyway? Because you can always do part 2 and part 3 another 10, 20 years down the line. So
I love them.
Huh?
I love those sports.
Oh, I know. They're ridiculous.
Did you finish the
Swamp Kings?
Yeah?
Yes.
It was boring.
I actually disagree with you.
Boring.
I'm actually I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. Like it ended up being better for me than I thought it was going to be. Like it really, I liked it. I was concerned that it was going to be a certain way. I don't want to get into it completely, but I was so concerned that it was really going to be so, I don't know how it's so Homerism. Like
it was.
I know that it was, but there was just a sense of a little bit more. There was more passion behind it than I thought there would be. I actually got a little bit, I'm watching it and I'm going, okay, all right, I see this. I saw more, obviously, when you have these documentaries about what went on behind closed doors than you ever knew before. I thought it was hilarious that Florida has such disdain for Georgia. That was interesting. I was waiting for that piece. Like they were like,
are they not supposed to?
No, I mean, I know, but I didn't know how much that was actually going to come out. Like, I didn't know that was going to be any part of what was being discussed. It was like, yeah, I hate Georgia. Like, I hate them with every part of my being. And I was like, oh, damn, that's pretty serious. Like,
they didn't get into
Go Dogs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Here
here
we
goes.
go.
Got him started.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I actually I didn't mind it. I mean, I don't even know that I could say that I would rather have seen them get into the darker side of
I
what
wanna
went
know
on
it
at
all.
Florida. But here's my point, and we talked about this before. We already know about it. Why are
Hey.
we going to regurgitate that all over again?
Because, like you just said beforehand,
Right.
I like 7, 8, 9 documentaries about the same thing.
True, but I think the point that I made before was that if you have a, Netflix, we know now they're really kind of taking over the sports documentary scene, right? I mean, we know HBO still does some, we know other ones still do, but it's Netflix is sports documentary king right now. By
Prime's
comparison,
jumping in there
right?
too.
Right.
That is true.
So it's really, they are really our king. And I think the thing is, if Netflix wants to continue to do this, I don't know that they're going to want to necessarily dive too deep into one particular side of what's going on with a school if the plan is to get other schools to get on board for more documentaries moving forward. And here's the other thing too. I mean, as far as, especially with Aaron Hernandez, I don't need to revisit that. I saw the whole Aaron Hernandez documentary that, oh, by the way, Netflix put out. I saw all that, and that was a disturbing story. Like, I mean, when you really dive deep into what transpired with him, I mean, that guy definitely had more than one screw loose, and there was some serious mental issues going on with him.
And Urban Meyer glossed right over them.
And what?
Urban Meyer glossed right over a lot of his problems.
Well, I mean,
That's my problem with that documentary. They didn't have to go on Aaron.
right.
But they let the Pouncey twins gloss over. They glossed over the Cam situation when he was there. They glossed over a lot of people.
I mean,
there.
but think about it like this, though. I mean, if you
Cooper.
right. Well, let's go
Riley
then
Cooper.
let's go the other side of this, though. Right. Let's go the other side and say, okay, if they had spent the entire documentary absolutely just bashing them
Not bashing.
and well, talking about everything that went down while they were there.
But we want to know that.
But you already
Yeah, that's
know
what we
it.
wanted to know.
But you already know it.
But see, that would have been more intriguing, though. If you would have told us specifically, hey, this was what happened with the Pouncey twins when they were out with him, who shall not be named, doing this at the nightclub,
Right.
and we had to wake up early in the morning and get them out of jail, or yada, yada, yada. Anything like that. It would have been more the Cam laptop situation and him leaving and going to Auburn and all that just brings more intrigue into what they became because of Tebow and how they turned it around.
Fair enough. But here, I remember multiple conversations during the stretch of time when Cam was first coming into the league. Right, we knew about what happened to him at Florida. We knew he went to JUCO, won a national title. Ended up coming into the league. Whenever anybody would talk extensively about Cam Newton, and maybe it was because he was just about to come into the league, and people didn't like it that they were doing that. But when he was about to come into the league, that was a topic of discussion often about what went down with him when he was at Florida. And all I ever heard was, "Oh, you're trying to keep this young man down. Oh, why are you doing this? Oh, why are you doing that?" Happened a lot. You know it. We had these conversations. You can't act like we didn't have this conversation because these things were happening. So it's like, okay, which poison are you picking at this time? Because you're saying, oh, well, I want to know more about that. When in reality, had they done that, that's exactly the same kind of conversations we would be talking about today if they had done that in those documentaries where people would come out, oh, see, here you go again. You're trying to keep Cam down. You're trying to knock him down. Why are we revisiting the same conversation over and over and over again? We know about it. It's not news.
But Cam wasn't the big thing. It was those other ones.
Well, I'm using
He's a
that
part
as
of
an
it,
example.
right? I mean, listen, we don't want to see Tim Tebow all day.
I don't want to see any more about Aaron Hernandez. I saw that story about him, and I'm quite frankly, I was disturbed by it, to be quite honest with you. I mean, why would that particular documentary dive deep into Aaron Hernandez's shenanigans when he was in Florida? Because all we know is that it was just a precursor to what took place when he got to the Patriots. That's just me. I think they've got enough money. Allah's given me the money sign here, but I think that Netflix is making plenty of money off of that particular documentary. I don't know that they needed to take that any further.
No, I'm not talking about Netflix. I'm talking about why they glossed everything over.
Oh, well.
I was going to say, or who sold them the story.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Needed the money.
Right.
Because Urban Meyer definitely had to sign off on that.
Right.
To get Tebow in there, right? He definitely had to sign off on that.
Yep. Oh, well, so did the university too.
All of the universities that are pictured on there had to sign off on
Absolutely, they did.
that.
And
NCAA had to sign off on some of that.
And if Florida was signing off on it and said, we don't want you to talk about these particular subject matters, why? Why would you think that would be the case? I mean, recruiting may still have an effect on recruiting if that's coming out because you're influencing young men. And in the same vein, again, I go back to my point originally about how if you want to continue to bring other schools in and do documentaries for them, having those types of conversations, the dark side of what took place at your school, isn't necessarily something that universities will continue to sign off on. If that's how you're going to sort of label the school, if that's the topic of conversation, I don't know that anybody else is going to sign off on that. And Netflix is trying to keep this ball rolling.
Listen,
right? They're trying to keep that money train going.
Wrestling does a Dark Side of the Ring on Vice channel, right? And it's really good.
Grown men.
But they do a dark side of something.
Right.
Like you just said, the dark side of these universities, we need to know. We need to know it. They get so much money, it doesn't matter to them.
Here's the thing, though.
I want to see a USC documentary.
I don't know that we don't know
They've had a couple
anymore.
Yeah, Reggie Bush is about to put one out right now, though. Reggie Bush is creating his own about the Heisman.
But by the way, they
and
need to
all
give
of
him his Heisman back, but we're not going to
give him his Heisman back.
We're not going to get into that today. That is a good topic. Somebody make a note. We'll talk about Reggie Bush and that. And I hope that documentary comes out soon. I will just say this. I mean, look, I don't know. I
see both sides of it. I get it. But
yeah, I mean, you're talking
when
it comes to the wrestling stuff. I mean, obviously, you're talking about grown men as well, and I don't know. I just wonder if here's the other thing too. In today's world, there is not much that we don't know. There really isn't. Not with news and social media and everything else. I mean, you can't escape anything, right? Yeah, I mean, there's pictures taken. There's information about everywhere. I mean, you can't escape anything.
Nope.
It's not like we don't know about it. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was a different story. But now it's like, you get it, instant.
That's why the intrigue of Michael Jordan is still the intrigue of Michael Jordan.
Love that, though.
What happened in the flu game? We don't know.
We don't know. I don't think that's one we'll ever know.
Nope. I like the mystique of it, though.
Well, Michael Jordan will never sign off on that. And Michael Jordan go ahead, Crispy.
He told us in The Last Dance he had some bad pizza.
Okay. What kind of bad pizza?
He was out partying, had some bad pizza.
He was playing a lot of poker until about 4 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, he's doing his gambling bit. But Jordan is above everyone when it comes to this. Why? Because what's the infamous thing that happened? Sports Illustrated put a picture on the cover when he was playing baseball for the White Sox and swinging and missing at a pitch. And the headline, I can look at it and I can see it in my mind to this day. At the bottom, it said, "Bag it, Michael." And to this day, Michael Jordan has still never spoken to Sports Illustrated and never will.
I like it. Hold them grudges, Mike.
And that's why you can't say anything about Michael Jordan. One very, very popular publication did, and he tuned them out. And I can guarantee you it affected them.
I agree.
I guarantee you it affected them.
Because imagine a Sports Illustrated cover with Mike on there.
Right.
The comeback.
Yep.
GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
He is the GOAT.
Anyone that argues that is silly.
You used to a long
There's
time
some
ago,
people. There's some people that argue that.
But so I was
Disgusting.
really starting to drink the LeBron James Kool-Aid, and then
you watched The Last Dance.
How many finals he lost?
What's that Nasty? What Nasty say?
I said you watched The
Or
Last
Jump.
Dance.
But yeah, I watched Last Dance, and I remember texting him. Oh, by the way, Michael Jordan's the GOAT.
Because he was
Just had to have a nice
LeBron.
reminder.
Yep, he was leaning towards LeBron, and then texted me that, and I was like, okay, well, there you go.
That's it.
Now you're back. Now
And
you're back to
now I
reality.
have a group of friends there that I'm texting with, and they are all LeBron fans. And I almost daily send them something from social media reminding them of how great Michael Jordan is. And most of the time, I just send them the link, and I'll be like, I'm going to leave this here for you.
That's it.
All right. So, Ali, you touched on this a little bit a little while ago. Yeah, we're touching stuff.
Hey.
You talked about the refs.
Yo.
So there's a note here.
What's the note? I put a note up there.
It said, yeah, you put this part in.
What I put? They put this part in.
With this, the fix is in with point shaving Rams/Niners.
Did you not see that?
What?
So
I saw the game.
It's the end of the
Or
game.
Some of the game.
They're down 10? I think they were down 10. Had no chance in tying the game up. Stafford throws a quick pass over the middle. They spike it or call a timeout. Kick a field goal. For what reason? With no time on the clock. Explain that to me.
So no time on the clock?
No time on the clock. They kicked the field goal to only lose by 7. No, what does that mean?
So there was literally
No time on the clock.
Zeros.
Like, yes. And
So
it
after
wasn't
you
going
kicked
to
the
win
field
them
goal,
the game.
Did they get it? They didn't get a chance.
No, it was kick the field goal.
Game
You
over.
lose by 7.
Game over.
Game over.
No onside kick. No
Nope.
opportunity to
Kick the
that's
field
it.
goal. Zeros on the clock. What that mean?
It's also worth noting the spread for that game was 7.5.
Yep.
Tell me something.
Oh no, I agree with you. Then I mean, I don't think I saw the very end of the game, so I didn't. I just saw the final score. I didn't see the end of the game. I didn't see how it
So
finished.
it was so bad that the announcers of that game were saying, "Hey, what are they doing here? Like someone's trying to cover something."
Oh wow.
You got to listen to the audio.
I wonder
Okay.
if the NFL is going to look into that.
Yeah, okay. Protect the shield.
The NFL stands to make too much money, but that is still a problem though because again, whether the NFL knows about it or not, and obviously I'm sure that they do. The fact is, it can't be that obvious. Like you can't make it that blatant. You have to be a lot more careful than that. So I guarantee you, after that game is over, here's my question though: who stood to benefit most? Like in that, you see what I'm saying? So like,
Let's see.
a particular player. No, I'm saying I'm just asking. So a particular player.
Calvin Ridley.
So like, is it a group? Is it just the team? Is it who made the decision? Like
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right.
So a call came down, right?
right?
McVay was like, "Oh, you want me to
do
go?
what?
You want me to go 2 minute real quick? Hold on, we're down by 10."
Yeah, we haven't seen that commercial yet. NFL hasn't gotten to that chapter yet of the script.
You're right.
It is scripted.
Yeah.
It is
We're going to
scripted.
see that here in a couple of weeks on NFL Network somewhere.
Hold on. I'm getting something in my ear.
Okay.
You said what? Oh, you want to? Okay. We're down 10. No? Okay. All right. Stafford. Right over the middle. Spike it. Kick a field goal. We're still down 7. Yeah, no time on the clock. Let's just get out of here.
Let's just go.
That's
We
what
gotta-
happened.
Yeah.
It just
looked
came from
bad.
up top.
But
It
it just
looked
it
bad.
You got to
really-
kick it.
So it wasn't necessarily you don't think it was anything player
Come
related.
on.
No, I'm just look. We have heard of players being involved in point shaving in the past, right? We know that's happened.
Yeah, but
in multiple sports.
that comes from the coaching staff to say, "Yo, run the field goal unit out there and kick a field goal." That's not a player.
Was it just Sean McVay? Is Sean McVay
I
on
don't
the
know,
verge of being
man.
fired?
There's too many people on the NFL team to all have to buy in on that.
That's
shit.
what I'm. That's what
Hold
I'm
on,
saying.
hold on.
How many people could possibly know?
I'm getting a call. You said what? Kick the field goal? Okay. Run the field goal unit out. Kick the field goal.
There's too many guys.
So you don't even think McVay had anything to do
The
with
Niners were confused. If you look at the video, the
it?
Niners.
I know, but you're not answering my question.
Who's kick? Why are they kicking the field goal?
So
They're down by
is
10.
Was it McVay's call? Did he get it from somebody else? Does it go higher than
It's the
McVay?
bat signal. He had a burn on his hip, right? He got old. He's old. No, he's not. He's younger
No, he's
than
not.
you.
He's younger than me.
He pulled it out. He said, "Oh, they said kick the field goal." All right,
Yeah, we'll get a Netflix documentary here soon.
That's another show.
that's coming. It's coming.
Wow. Okay.
But the officiating has been bad, other than the point shaving portion.
Officiating is always bad.
Too many
Point shaving and
players
officiating are two
on the
totally
team.
different things.
So what
Officiating
happened?
always sucks.
You want me to send you this article?
Officiating always sucks, man.
I know.
We can
And
have
the
this
Jets game.
conversation every single week.
I know. Jets
about
game
officiating. Okay, that you were still losing that game.
lost by
so
20.
still-
Wasn't 40 though.
but you still would have lost by 13. So
I take 13 over 40.
over 20. carry the
I'll
two.
take the
There you go.
13.
All right.
Yep.
We're doing math in our head,
Yep,
folks.
I'll take the 13.
Paula's still trying to figure it out.
Yep.
Basic math. We got it.
No, look, it's so this article is going to update every single week, and it says the NFL referee assignments and their impact on NFL betting. And like as you go down it, it shows each ref for each game and their calls and their penalty tendencies, like by percentages,
Right.
every single week, and it doesn't look that good.
Right.
And it shows the bottom line as well, like how did it help the spread? Who's the main sponsor of a lot of these games?
Subway.
Eat fresh.
Subway. They are trying
State
so
Farm.
hard to come back with all of these like players with
Deli
Mahomes.
sliced meat.
They're trying so hard to. I
Disgusting.
still don't think they can come back from the
They're
Jerry thing. I just don't
In
think
the
they can do it.
Bengals and Ravens game that we watched on and off. Now, I didn't sit and watch the entire thing. I saw 67 Patrick Mahomes commercials.
Yeah. Oh, so some of the main DraftKings. Stuff like that?
DraftKings. There you go. Right.
Betting sports books.
Oakley.
I have noticed that you're not
sports
seeing as
bet.
much of those Vegas sports book stuff as you did a couple seasons ago.
No, because there's DraftKings and the other one.
Right,
The
but you know how Jamie Foxx was doing a
MGM.
lot of
Yep.
a lot of those. Those aren't as you're not seeing as many of those. Now we may start seeing them more as we get closer to the postseason.
That's because
but you're not seeing as many of them anymore.
That's because they cloned Tyrone. You didn't watch that movie, did you?
No.
You don't get the joke. Clearly,
Well, clearly,
you got to eat the fried chicken. Fried chicken.
I do love me some fried chicken. Though.
All right, Patrick Mahomes' wife.
I had some tonight.
Ooh, I'd love
Fried
chicken.
chicken.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this: there is a particular grocery store that makes spicy fried wings that are just.
I don't eat spicy.
Yeah, I know you don't because you're at.
Does it start with a P?
Who you calling the UNITY?
Oh man, that's so good. All right,
Does that grocery store start with a P?
Yes, it does.
Oh, that's where Jameis got his crab legs from.
Yes, it was.
Hey, speaking of Jameis, he's going up to the NYC.
Gotta have them. Gotta have
Gotta
them.
eat them W's,
Gotta
baby.
have the W's.
James going to come up there and throw you some picks.
I'll take it.
All right, so let's do this. Let's talk really quickly about a couple of surprising. Let's go. Of course, we're 2 weeks into the season. Surprising 2-0 teams and surprising 0-2 teams. Who wants to take a stab at this, Crispy?
All right. No disrespect, but I am surprised that the Atlanta Falcons are 2-0.
Okay.
That's my pick. The Atlanta Falcons are 2-0.
Okay.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
Yeah. BJ is doing his thing. BJ or
Bijan.
BJ?
How do you?
Bijan.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his
Bijan.
name either.
Bijan. Yep.
Bijan. He's doing his thing. Ritter.
Trash.
I don't know. I think we still have some more time to see him on the field a little bit more, but
Game 2 better than game 1.
Defense is doing decently.
Yep.
I thought the week 1 win against
His audio's out. Hey, audio.
Oh, Crispy, your audio is.
sir,
Oh,
but
wait.
uh,
No, his audio is cutting in and out.
Ba-
Crispy,
did
we're
what they had to
losing
do
your
to get
audio.
dub,
You
and,
started talking
we'll
about
see how the rest
Falcons?
of the season goes.
Oh Jesus.
Crispy
But
started
they're playing
talking.
decent ball right now.
They're playing decent ball.
They're playing defense. Crispy, we lost you, and then all of a sudden your audio kicked back in, and it was like it was really fast. It was sped up ridiculously. Can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear us?
He's frozen.
No, he's not. Wave your hand. Wave your hand.
Hey, you guys. So yeah, I was thinking about the Falcons and the 2-0.
Good call. You're back on. Good job. Good job.
Oh, that's bad.
All right. So you like what Bijan brought to the table?
Yes,
Thought the
I
defense
like
was playing okay.
Bijan.
Yeah.
Dijon Mustard.
Dijon
Gotcha.
Mustard. Yes. Actually, there's
Yeah.
somebody in our fantasy football league's team name is Bijan Mustard. So, yeah. Crispy's gonna
Yeah, and
go
I've
on a
been
little
trying
bit
to trade
fancy.
him, and he's not taken.
No, he's not taking him. No, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
Ritter definitely better game 2 than game 1. I think there was a little bit of a progression from week 1 to week 2. I will see. Again, it's early. They're 2-0. They played a couple of mediocre football teams. That's not saying much for the Bears, considering the Packers beat them. But the Bears, who were going to win the NFC North, great pick on that one, by the way.
That wasn't me. I didn't pick that.
Yes, you did.
I don't recall.
Hey, whoa, hold on. Allah.
So what?
It's only week 2. It's only week 2.
That is true.
It's only week 2.
It's only week 2.
Yes, because the Bears are definitely going to make some kind of ridiculous comeback and show everybody that they're the best team in the North.
There's a meme out there of Justin Fields taking a sack and somebody's wide open, like right there. He's looking at him and still doesn't throw it.
Yeah.
That's bad.
All right. Well, you're a surprising 0-2 team, Crispy.
Surprising 0-2 teams got to be the Chargers.
Oh, jeez.
I think they were one of those teams that was projected to maybe dethrone Kansas City in the West, maybe be a nice push playoff team into the playoffs. They had gotten into the playoffs last year. Can't remember if they won or not. Wait, did they beat us? They probably beat us. I think maybe that's what it was. But I think they had a lot of projections to be that next team to take the evolution into the the playoffs. Got Herbert signed. They got Austin Eckler back for the year, but didn't really pay him what he wanted to get paid. Now he's hurt, coincidentally. So I'm going with the Chargers being the surprise 0-2 team.
I don't like the way you were pointing at me, by the way.
Well, because you were the one who said that the Chargers were going to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chargers are going to be the Chargers. I don't know what's up with them.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's your surprising 2-0 and 0-2 teams?
Surprising 2-0 team. Clearly, the trash ass Tampa Bay Bucks. How the hell did they get to 2-0?
Well, let me see. They just played the Bears.
Mayfield.
There's one.
That's one.
Okay.
I don't even remember who they played in week. Who did they play in week 1? No,
Don't matter.
doesn't matter.
They won both games.
Yep.
I don't know how.
Did they play the Saints?
No, Saints are 2-0.
No.
It was Minnesota.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Oh, it was Minnesota.
Oh,
That's
yeah, Minnesota.
Trash ass Kirk Cousins. You want?
Goodness gracious. You
Aren't
all
they 0-2?
They are.
They are 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only week 2.
It's only week 2.
It is only week 2.
Joe Burrow's 0-2 too.
It's only week 2 too.
Hey, he don't got a calf.
That's true.
2-2.
That is very true.
I almost took the Bengals.
Who's your surprising 0-2?
Do I have to say it?
No, it's the Chargers.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
God damn. Justin Herbert is too good for that. And it's not him.
And they score a lot of points.
And they give up a lot of points.
And that's their problem. And that's why they cannot win.
They
that
can't
division.
stop a nosebleed.
That's
They
why
can't stop a nosebleed.
They can't win that division. They're not going to win that division.
They will.
No, they will not.
They still will.
They absolutely will not.
I believe in you, Justin Herbert.
Kansas City's off to a really slow start.
Yeah. The Chris Jones factor, by the way. I think that was the difference in that game because Jacksonville's a good team. Kansas City went on the road. Chris Jones, sack and a half in that, couple of tackles for a loss. I think they immediately had an impact on that defense because offensively they still haven't found their groove yet.
I thought they
That was
cut
a horrible
Kadarius
game.
Tony. I saw him playing.
You did see him playing.
I thought he got cut.
I don't think he'll drop another pass like that again.
He sucks.
Well, we'll see.
Who?
It's only week 2.
Kadarius Tony.
Kadarius Toney, the
Oh,
guy that
yeah.
dropped like 8 passes in the first week.
It was about 14.
Maybe it was 14. I don't know. Who knows? Once you get past like 6, you got a problem.
He sucks.
Yeah.
I got Patrick Mahomes on my team, and he is horrible right now.
I tried to tell y'all that. Nobody listened to me. Oh, you want to point at me for my Chargers take, but you don't want to point at me for that.
What take?
That the Chiefs have regressed.
It's only week 2.
That's true. Sorry.
I mean, hey, that's what you keep telling me.
Why is it dark over there?
Why is it dark over where?
Yep.
Oh.
There you go.
I
There you
don't
go.
Crispy, there's all kinds of stuff going on in your place, man. What's happening?
Siri,
Turn the light out.
Siri turned the lights out on him.
Damn, Siri turned the lights out. Or I forgot to pay the electric bill. One of the two.
Surprising 2-0 team for me.
Yeah.
I could say Tampa. I could say Atlanta.
You should.
I wonder why
I could say Washington,
the Commandos.
but I might say the Saints.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, there's quite a few surprising 2-0s for me.
they're bad too.
Quite a few. Yeah, that's not a good football team. I mean,
I picked
squeak
the
one by
Saints to win
Carolina.
that division.
I mean, they've got as good a chance as anybody else in that division. I mean, there's 3 teams that are 2-0 and 1 team that's 0-2. So anything can happen.
Carolina's going to have a chance to actually draft a real quarterback this year.
Oh, so they didn't draft a real quarterback this past time? Really?
Right.
I'm not a fan.
I'm not either.
Y'all some haters.
I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of him in college. I'm not a fan of him now.
Bryce Young is better than Desmond Ritter. Riddler.
Who is?
Riddler.
Who's better than Ritter?
Bryce Young.
Okay. All right. That's enough. I think we're just going to turn your mic off now.
Okay.
I mean,
remember where you heard it first,
I don't know what I hear again. I don't know what you have to base this on. I just don't know what you have to base this on. But that's fine. That's fine.
Bryce Young has a national championship.
Okay.
Does he have Heisman?
Does he?
He does, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, right?
Okay.
Where do you go to school at?
Roll Tide.
We had to have it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We absolutely had to have it.
Yep.
Hey, I'm curious. Hey, I'm super excited for this Falcons game this week against the Lions, though.
Oh, another.
I think that's going to be a nice litmus test. Let's see what that happens here.
It's going to be in Detroit
on the road.
It's going to be in Detroit. We'll see what happens.
I don't know what's up with them
I
Lions
think the
either.
surprising team as well is definitely the Chargers for me as far as the 0-2 goes. I mean, it's one thing to lose in week 1 the way they did. That was a shootout. I get it. Miami plays well. It wasn't really a surprise to see both those teams, scoring in the 30s. But it was the Chargers lost this past week to Tennessee, who really just absolutely laid an egg in week 1, and then to turn around and to lose to Tennessee in overtime.
And then they had the lead, too.
I know. But that's what they've done. And it's funny because there have been a lot of conversations over the last several years, and rightfully so, about how Atlanta can't hold a lead, right? We know that. They haven't been able to do it for a lot of years. Statistically speaking, however, and I think I'm right about this because I think I looked it up last year, the Chargers have in that stretch of time where, and this is going back pre-Super Bowl where Atlanta gave up obviously the 28-3, but even before that, where they had given up several leads under Mike Smith, they, statistically speaking, the Chargers have actually blown more leads than the Falcons have during that stretch of time. So, but you've seen that from this team, especially over the last couple of seasons, even with Herbert at quarterback, because their defense cannot stop anybody. They'll score 30, man, but they'll get scored.
That's crazy because
37 on them.
Derwin James is one of the best safeties.
Yep.
Bosa is one of the best pass rushers. Khalil Mack is probably towards the end of his career, but they went out and moved and got him.
Wasted that talent in Chicago.
He had some really good years in Chicago.
But Chicago wasn't any good.
I agree.
That was the hard part.
You seen it was an article out that he put out in a podcast he put out. He said that he had a deal in place to go to the 49ers with that defense.
Oh.
And they got it. It was vetoed.
Really?
Yeah. He had a deal lined up, the Raiders.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He had a deal in place to go there, sign the contract for the extension and everything, and they sent them to Chicago.
What a
Can
shame.
you imagine that?
What an absolute shame.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so
the Raiders are still garbage, even with all those.
Still garbage. They are.
With all those first round picks for him?
Yeah. Oh God. I know we're closing up shop here in just a second, but we've had a few injuries so far. This season already. We're 2 weeks in, and we see this type of thing happen. We see these injuries take place because honestly, these guys aren't going at full speed during the preseason, and all of a sudden they go. That's a huge thing for me. It's what I think happens is they're not going, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're at full speed. And you see a lot of the non-contact injuries, especially to the lower extremities. This is the kind of thing that's going to happen. It will continue to happen throughout the season. Who did we just talk about before we came on? Who's out for the season that I forgot about? Who was that?
CHUBB, Nick CHUBB.
No, not CHUBB. It was somebody else.
That was because of Micah Fitzpatrick, little dirty ass.
Oh, the fibula or tibula thing?
Yeah. Who was that?
Shaq Thompson.
Oh yeah, Shaq Thompson for the Carolina Panthers out.
Yeah.
With injury. You got a lot of guys that have
Eckler
already
missed the game.
Yeah.
Eckler.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor still hasn't played yet. Whoa. I love you, Aaron.
I thought we were talking about injuries.
No,
Saints running
we
back.
were talking about running backs, okay? And those kind of don't talk about
Oh, sorry.
Saints running back Jamal
Oh,
Williams
Saquon.
expected to miss time with a
Saquon.
hamstring injury. Saquon's out. I mean, they're talking about the fact that maybe he's coming back, but I don't think they should push him at this point. The original diagnosis was maybe 2 to 3 weeks. But the big injury, of course, the big talk, after what we saw from Aaron Rodgers, it's like on back-to-back weeks we've seen these like just. I mean, obviously, Aaron's injury doesn't look as bad, but an Achilles tear is just atrocious. It doesn't, but you can't see it the way you can. And what happened to Nick Chubb, and that's painful because Nick Chubb has been one of the most consistent running backs in this league for a long time. He's the consummate professional. He's a dog. Love that guy a lot. He's a great running back, right? I mean, every single year.
I like what you did there.
I know, you love
He's
him.
a what?
Go Dogs.
He's a dog. Every single year, just marches out there and gets it done, and you don't hear anything from him. He just comes out there and plays football and plays it well. And for him to go down the way he did, that injury was gruesome. It was the same knee he injured in college. And so what we do not know, even though we know it's a significant knee injury, is what kind of tears potentially there's going on there. I mean, if he's torn all.
I thought that's what they said was they tore them all. ACL, MCL, and PCL?
I didn't hear.
They didn't give a report yet.
I didn't hear the report on the specifics. But if he's torn all three, it's going to be really tough for him to come back from that.
Twice?
I think he would probably try it. I really do. I don't think he would go without giving it a shot, but I don't know if we're going to see Nick Chubb playing football again. He might play again, but certainly not at the level that we've seen him play in the past. And that was gruesome. That was a tough one to watch.
That was a dirty hit.
It was.
Say it.
I didn't like it.
Very dirty.
I didn't like it.
You don't tackle a man in the hole. Ayo, in the hole. In the hole.
You just can't help yourself.
I can't.
You
Sorry.
really can't.
Sorry. In the hole while someone is tackling him up high.
Right.
Like it. I saw a couple.
I mean, he went down. I mean, like he went
and
right
he did,
for it too, like right for his knee
in space.
Right.
Yes, because it gives the running back an option to, or the receiver an option to like get out the way or something, right?
Hurdle. Whatever.
Unless you're Dijon Mustard, who apparently just takes ankles from everyone.
Yep. There's still ankles on the floor in Atlanta right now. Yep.
The back juke week 1. God. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Micah Fitzpatrick, he went low, and he just fell in the hole.
Yeah.
Like that was bad.
That was rough.
Like,
That was a rough.
He's
one.
better than that.
So back-to-back weeks, we've got some significant injuries to some really good players. And Shaq Thompson, I believe, did we say he was out for the season? Is that right? Shaq Thompson for the Carolina Panthers, I believe, out for the season. So
It's gotta be.
Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, that's right. He broke his tibia. So out for the season as well. And that's a tough blow to the Panthers as well because arguably he's the best defender. Like, I mean, he's nasty. Like, he's arguably. Maybe not, but he's definitely up
Brian
there.
Burns.
Yeah. I mean, Burns is nice, but Shaq's been there for a while. I mean, we've seen what he can do. So can't help yourself either. We're gonna have to have conversations about this off the air because I don't know that I can keep hearing this the entire time. Stop. But that's why you heard that little grunt. You heard that? It's like, I don't know, whatever. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I hate it that we're ending on that, but prayers up to Chubb. Hopefully,
prayers up to Chubb.
Hopefully you still can't. You can't, can you?
Yo,
you are a child.
His name is very funny. I'm sorry.
Prayers up to Nick.
That's better. Thank you.
Is that better?
Nick Chubb.
I can't. I'm having to conform. I'm having to change the way I speak about a player just so I can keep you from acting like a 5-year-old.
Chubb.
I just can't. I just can't deal with this. This is absolutely ridiculous. All right, so that's going to do it. That's going to do it for us here. Episode number 2. Number 2. And number 2 in the books. Oh, we've got 2 1s. You putting up 2 1s?
Yeah.
Okay. Episode number 2 in the books.
2.
That's 11, though.
No. That's 2. 1 plus 1.
Oh.
Is 2.
All right, so really quickly, for those of you who are checking us out on YouTube, we appreciate you. Like and subscribe. Comment as well. Jump in there. Let us know what you think. Throw some comments our way. Tell us what you think we could do better. Tell us what you think we do well. Throw some shade towards everybody and anybody. The majority of that's probably going to come my way, which is fine because everybody loves Allah.
How can you not love me?
Crispy's just chilling in Greenville. Everybody loves him, but everybody's gonna Everybody's going to hate on me because I'm, oh, you don't like to have fun. I know that's coming. That's always been the case in the past.
Because he's old.
That's it. So I'm going to just play the curmudgeon
That's got
card.
nothing to do with it.
I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to play the curmudgeon card. That's what I'm going to do. So I'll just something I'll just have to deal with. So, but we do appreciate you in all seriousness. We've seen an uptick already after the first show within the first 24 hours. A ton of views, a lot of subscribers.
Subscribe, hit the notification bar.
Yeah, that's it.
Not the crispy cam.
Well, you could.
Wherever it's what? Hit this too.
Yeah, hit that too. Hit
Yeah.
him.
No, don't hit me. Man.
Yeah, do something.
Chubb.
But we do appreciate you. And
We just had
obviously,
Micah Parsons, Zach, and Zach Wilson twice in a row.
you can
is this a
also
highlight?
here we
Yeah.
go. You can also find us on multiple platforms as well as far as the podcast goes. And if Zach, you would care to share that with our listeners, since we're talking about podcasts. I know you can find us on multiple streams, Spotify being one. I'll just go ahead and throw that one out there as well. So,
Cut the check.
Yeah, right now Spotify and Google are going to be the two main ones that we're on. Coming to Apple platforms soon.
excellent.
Oh man, that's supposed to be first.
It's coming.
That's a good
We
place.
had to work on some stuff.
That's a good place.
It is. It
Yeah.
is. I would agree with you on that. So
I like that place.
we had to work on some stuff there, but yeah, we do appreciate you. Check us out there if you're listening. If you're the podcast type and you're driving, check us out. Please don't try to drive and watch us on YouTube at the same time. Don't do that. Be responsible.
first.
But when you're home, pull it up on YouTube. Check it out.
Man, you watch it and drive too. It's fine. Just run them numbers up.
We are not going to get paid if you
Run
keep saying
them
stuff like that.
numbers
That's never
up.
going to happen.
Run them numbers up.
We're absolutely going to delete this in post, right? We're absolutely have to delete that in post. Okay, so we do appreciate you listening, viewing. We're trying to have some fun here, but we're we want to provide you with the entertainment, and we're just getting started. We're dusting some of this rust off, right? I mean, we're just trying to get going. It's been a while since we've done this. We've only had a couple of dry runs. This is episode number 2. So you just can't help yourself, can you?
I didn't say nothing. That's Chubb.
You were laughing. Everybody knows exactly what you were doing.
Chubb.
I can't get a serious sentence out to save my life.
All right, I'm sorry.
I cannot. I'm just going to have to deal with that.
Hold on.
What I'm going to have
You
to
have to get the sign to mute him.
Well, here's what I'm going to have to do. I'm literally going to have to just continue to talk over him as he's doing it and just pay absolutely no attention to it whatsoever.
What?
So on that note,
What?
I'm going to say thank you to Coco, who spent the better part of the last 90 minutes doing every exercise known to man.
With no drawers on.
Yeah,
It's nasty.
That too. He's got short shorts going on right now. He was doing all the calisthenics in the world.
Put your balls
over
in.
here. I'm impressed though because he was doing a whole lot of ab work, over there. I mean, it's constantly.
Hey, you got to get that core
Yeah.
right and tight.
Yeah. He's definitely dropped some lbs too. So respect. I want to thank Zach as well, Christian, who's back for episode number 2. We didn't have him for episode number 1.
Christian.
We are missing Cal, who's not asleep in the sleeping bag on the other side of the camera tonight. But
he's probably
respect Cal.
He's probably under the bridge somewhere in the sleeping bag.
Okay. All right.
What?
I don't know what that means either, but we're going to gloss right over that.
I'm not going to say
Same way the
why.
NFL glosses over things that happen apparently as well. So that's for you.
I ain't say it.
All right.
was gonna go
So for those fellas, for Crispy joining us up in Greenville, South Carolina, we appreciate you. We'll see you soon. Allah.
Chubb.
I am Jonas Mount.
Chubb.
Until next time.
Suck it, jabronis.